New regulations started this month nationwide, limiting the number of hours medical residents can work in a shift. News 8's Jenna Traum caught up with Gundersen Lutheran and Mayo Clinic in La Crosse today. She joins us live in the studio with the benefits and the drawbacks the hospitals have noticed in these last few weeks.
The restrictions are meant to prevent tired residents from making medical errors. The new rules cut the number of consecutive hours first-year residents are allowed to work in half. For medical residents, 30-hour shifts have been a long-standing tradition.
Well, it's been a rite of passage for generations of physicians, working long hours on call. And I just finished my training right before the change in the work hours, and I don't have any regrets at all.
But at the beginning of this month, the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education cracked down on residents' long hours. Before July 1st, residents of all levels could work as much as 30 hours in a single shift. Now, first-year residents, also called interns, are not allowed to work more than 16 hours straight. Senior residents are limited to 28 hours, but they're not allowed to take on new patients or be involved in direct patient care after 24 hours. So those last 4 are usually spent transferring their patients to someone else.
There are many studies that also show that when we're sleep deprived that we don't think and act as clearly. And in fact, people who have been sleep deprived for 24 or more hours in certain tasks perform as poorly as someone who's legally drunk.
Gundersen Lutheran Residency Coordinator Dr. David Chestnut says the hospital is complying with the regulations, but they pose major challenges. The rules make scheduling difficult and make more work for staff and physicians. Continuity of care is also an issue as the regulations lead to more transferring of patients between residents. There's also the question of whether residents are getting enough preparation for life after their residency.
One of the things that the new duty hours restrictions do not do is they do not limit the number of hours that our staff physicians work. And of course, we're concerned with making sure that our residents are prepared for work in the real world once they leave residency training.
Patients might see a lot more handoffs between residents, but on the bright side, the residents they do see will probably be a lot less tired.
The interns this year, the first years, I've definitely noticed a change in them. They're way more perky than I ever was when I was an intern.
And you can bet hospitals are monitoring whether that leads to better performance on the job. I asked residents how they stayed alert during these long shifts, and they told me 3 things are really important: adrenaline, caffeine, and strategic napping.
All right, thanks very much, Jenna. And the new restrictions have led to a new debate over whether residency should be extended another year to make up for the lost hours. But hospital officials say this is an unlikely option because of the expense.